O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show. This is...
Where can you drive the new 2025 Acura Integra for only $289 a month? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
It's big. It's gigantic. It's the Toyota of Hollywood Super Sale. Over 2,000 Toyotas from just $17,988. Like a Corolla LE, not $24,000, $17,988. Buy with 0% financing, 0 down. Join the fun and get a super deal at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
When it comes to selling your home, efficiency is the best way, the less stress way. That's why Asmani Garcia and the Omega Home Realty Group is who you want to call. Sell your home for just $990. That's right, $990. No 6% commission. Asmani and Omega are the exclusive program director for just $990 in South Florida. Get full service real estate services like pro photos, beautiful brochures, Zillow and Alex, Realtor.com and Homes.com listings. Call Asmani to find out more at 305-440-1990. Scan the QR code or visit just990.com to get started. Omega Home Realty Group and Asmani Garcia are ready to present your home to thousands of prospective buyers. Call 305-440-1990. Call Asmani Garcia and tell him Big O sent you.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt & Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt & Rayom can help.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Where can you drive a new Acura ZDX for only $439 a month? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649. 649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome aboard on a Wednesday, April 2nd. Yes, sir. 2025. It is a hump day. All right, we got some stuff to talk about. We got some stuff that was very expected, as we told you. So there you go. And good job yesterday by Miami FC. Unfortunately, the Panthers, not a good one yesterday. Losing to Montreal. That was the entertainment last night. Watching a little bit of both. I'm sure most of you did not even watch the soccer game, but of course, most of you may have watched the Panther game, which was disappointing. Montreal's kind of got their number, a little bit. But again, not concerned. I'm not even worried about it. They'll be just fine. We got some things to talk about locally going on. A couple national stories. A couple Dolphin angles that we've got to talk about as always. We'll sprinkle in a little music stuff. We'll take your questions. All kinds of good stuff. So there you go. So we'll get into that. And, of course, everything else going on in the world of sports. And, of course, we've got our own stuff going on with the market today. I think the market's already opened up in red or close to or deep into the red already, I think it is. Let's see. Yeah, no, it's actually not that bad. It's only 82 points down. We'll wait till this afternoon and everything that goes on with the tariffs. Although I will say Bitcoin seems to be pumping a little bit, right? It's at 85.6 right now. So it's up almost 3%. So I don't know. We'll see. We shall see what we shall see. And we'll find out what happens with the markets today, because it could get ugly. Or maybe it's good. Who knows? It's one thing that's really hard to predict all the time. All right. We definitely got to talk about the elephant in the room to open up the show. Might as well. As expected, Calais Campbell is gone, and we told you on the show. Okay? We told you. Go back and check it out. We told you he's gone to Baltimore unless somebody offers him a lot of money. Okay? And, $7.5 million, Baltimore was not offering that. Miami definitely was not offering that. But Baltimore was offering around the same as Miami. So he was going to go to Baltimore. And I told you he would go to Baltimore unless somebody offers a crazy amount to a 40-year-old man. I think that's how I put the line. I don't know if you remember the line, Sean, but I think it's kind of like what I put it, like, unless they offer a 40-year-old man a lot of money, he's going to go to Baltimore. Well, the place that drafted him, Arizona, has offered him a deal where he makes 5.5 and could make 7.5, and the incentives will easily probably get him to 7.5. So what's he going to do? Pass that up? He wasn't coming back here. He was never coming back here. Just like Teron Armstead is gone, dude. Okay? Gone. If anything, they'll release his ass so he could go somewhere else. He's not going to sacrifice his body here. I don't think, I kind of feel that there's a lot of you in the Dolphin Nation that you're not watching what's actually going on. This is the Titanic, and the people are jumping ship. And it doesn't matter if it's Reggie McKenzie. It doesn't matter if it's Javon Holland. It doesn't matter who it is, Campbell or Tehran or whoever it is. Anyone that has an opportunity to get off the ship, they're doing that exactly because they know the inevitable. We all know they're on the hot seat. It's obvious. We all know McDaniel and the front office have one season left, unless they pull out a miracle. The players know it. So a lot of the players that have an opportunity to get them out, they're going to get out. And the guys that are on the brink of the twilight of their careers, like a Campbell or Tehran, who have put their bodies through hell, they are not going to sacrifice for these people anymore. Calais saw it for 1 year, and that's enough. And Tehran has seen it for several years. And even though his body can't hold up, he sees what they are. He's had enough. So whoever can get the hell out of here is going to get the hell out of here. Those are the facts. And you weren't going to have the pick of the litter in free agency. Even if you wanted it, you would have to then so overpay that you won't be able to fill any needs. So real free agents weren't going to want to come here. And this is why you've also had the kind of offseason you've had. I don't understand how people are not seeing what's going on. The shit is completely falling apart. There is nothing positive. There is no momentum for this franchise. Nowhere around the league, nowhere in that building. People in that building, they don't believe in what's going on with that coach. I think I've said this before already, that there are people in the building that don't believe in that guy. Everybody knows what's going on. It's just that fiscally, which is what we've tried to explain to all of you, they're tied to all of this. So that's why they're keeping the whole band together. There's not a person in that building that thinks that Mike McDaniel's going to take them out of something and make them special or some shit like that. And the players know that, dude. That's why Tyreek acts the way he acts. He didn't even act like that in Kansas City. Because they got a coach that's not going to take that, all that bullshit. And whatever they did behind the scenes, they had enough of it and they got rid of his ass. And they said, nah, we can win without you. And they can. This place has been exposed already under Mike McDaniel. No one respects Mike McDaniel. Players don't respect Mike McDaniel. The people in the building don't really think he's the guy. Most of the fan base is pretty much, even the blind ass fan, even the fan that you might hear themselves trying to convince themselves, oh, yeah, we're going to have a good year. Oh, yeah, this is our year. Oh, yeah, we're going to win 12 or 50. They don't really believe that shit. They just don't. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on with some of you in the again, you love to be lied to. You want the media. You want to be in that echo chamber. Tell me what I want to hear, that we have a chance. Tell me what I want to hear. Yeah, no, we might get Calais Campbell. Tell me what I want to hear. And there's plenty of media members that are going to do that for you. Why? Because it sells papers, it gets clicks, it gets views, it'll keep you hanging on for the next segment. And I'll tell you when we come back from the break how the Dolphins will definitely be able to keep Calais Campbell. Ooh, I'll tune in. Whatever. It's just, I'm sorry, man.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna stay lame, and I'm just gonna tell you what's going on. What's going on? This is what's going on. He's not coming back here. But whatever, what are you gonna do? But this is a sinking ship, and people are trying to get off of it. But because they're so fiscally tied to everything, dismantling it now really does no good. So you just got to let it live out and let it die out on its own if it does. Or if it somehow is resurrected, then let it resurrect on its own. But once you get over the fiscal hurdle that you can then start to open up the avenues for other things, changes, you got to just hang in there. So you're going to have to hang in there for another year. And then, God forbid, this year sucks, which I hope it does, and I hope it's a great year. I hope we're all wrong. But if it's a terrible year, then they blow everybody up, and then the new regime comes in. You've been through all of this. And then they got to go through another year of salaries and all that before they can start to do their work. So we're 3 years away from starting the first year of the rebuild. Okay, remember how last year I told you, hey, this season, 2024, is the hot seat season for McDaniel. Did I not tell you that? Did I not say that all year, Sean? All fucking year. All fucking year. The entire season, I told you, this is the season that puts McDaniel on the hot seat. Did I not say that over and over and over and over and over and over again? And where are we now? The year of the hot seat. So we got to go through the year of the hot seat. Then we go through the year of the dismantling. Then we go through the first year of the new coach and regime and front office, where they've got to tear everything down. And they've got to wait for more expiring contracts like Tua, because it's 2 years from now. And then 3 years from now, we start the first year of the rebuild. Do you understand what's going on? Because you've lived it. You've lived it. If you're old enough, you've lived this over and over and over again. It's effing Groundhog Day, as Dave Hyde loves to do it on his article. Okay? So I already predicted the year before that this would be the hot seat year. So this is the progress, okay? Dude, I'm approaching 60. I've followed this team since I was a kid, since I was a child, since I could understand what football is. And I've watched it. And I've watched the great times, the greatest of times, the great times, the mediocre times, and I've watched the worst times. And I've seen this story before. People are jumping ship, and now we've got to go through the process. And we all know deep down inside that Mike McDaniel's not the guy. And Calais Campbell knows he's not the guy. And that's why Calais Campbell has hauled ass. Okay? And that's it. And that's all. And he wanted it to end the right way and do it the right way. But unfortunately, so when you want to do it the right way, you call Welton Rayom. Jeff Welton, Daniel Rayom, they are the best. Jeff and Dan are second to none. I've been telling you about them for years now on the platform. Plenty of our listeners have had a lot of success calling Welton Rayom. I don't mislead you guys. I know these people. These are amazing people. They did it for us. They crushed Progressive. 954-966-4646. Bankruptcy, if you're dealing with that, unfortunately, a lot of Americans, credit card debt is at all-time highs in our country. Homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. Please call them. The consultation's free. So all you got to do is pick up the phone and find out if you have a case or not, and then you can move forward. And let me tell you, sometimes even if you have a case, but they can't help you with that specific case because maybe they don't cover that specifically, they'll lead you to the right people. I mean, these are just incredible human beings, and they happen to be great lawyers too on top of all of that. Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom. Jeff is a great dude, big into music, loves his Dolphins, suffering with us during the Canes and everything else. Okay, so you can talk sports with him. Dan, not as much a sports guy, but he definitely loves his planes. Stunt pilot. So that's, he's got balls of steel when he walks into that courtroom. 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646 for Welt and Rayom. Let me get to a little roll call here. Jeff in Long Island is in there. I'm hoping the total win for the Finns is 8. I'll take the over then. I wouldn't put a dime on them going over for anything this year, bro. I think things can go ugly and get really, really destroyed. So I'd be very careful with the Dolphins this season. Cosa Nostra, yes, sir. R.I.P. Val Kilmer. We'll get to that when we get to our entertainment and music. Yeah, I saw that, man. Sad. Magnus, Gus1388, Jay Gelfin smashing it, and the like button too, and subscribe, and the notification bell, all of that, so you know when we're live. Alexis Palenzuela, Jamie Zoria out in San Jose. Jake from Palatown says, I was already annoyed seeing the Miami let Calais go for $7.5 million. Where he was offered much less. You don't know incentives and never will. Plain and simple, he decided not to come back. Right? He was never coming back here. Now, Miami did not have that kind of money on the table for him anyway, and neither did Baltimore. But he was going to go to Baltimore, all right, because the money was around close to the same, but maybe slightly more, but he wanted to go to Baltimore. And I told you that unless they offer the 40-year-old man a whole bunch of money, then he'll go somewhere else, but it's got to be in Arizona. Backed up the truck. God bless him, bro. He deserves way more than that. He's been a great player, a great person, a great leader, a great representative, a perfect in everything individual for any team he's ever played for. God bless Calais Campbell, bro. Perfect football player. One-Eyed Jack, Dan the Film Gent. Really, Calais going to Arizona? Yeah, bro, of course. He got drafted there, and they offered him the most money. So, Mark NorCal says, wow, my doobie isn't even ready yet. Puff, puff. Yeah, baby. Toke it. Jake from Palatown. Let's see. Ty in the Bronx. Val Kilmer being in the new Top Gun felt like a complete full circle. Yeah, no, of course, definitely, man. It's like you wanted him there. You know what I mean? And the role they gave him was fantastic, because obviously, down the stretch, you not feeling well. Getting old sucks, dude. Cancer sucks. Life sucks at times. It's just, it is what it is, man. And we're all going to deal with it at one point or another, and it's scary as shit. Christian D in the house. Horn Dog. Alexander S. Jesus Christ, what a terrible picture. Well, it's my face. What do you want, bro? I mean, this is some face for radio. You probably should mute the face. Can you mute the picture? And then we'll just listen. That'll probably help you out, Alexander S. Think about it. Don't you feel for my wife? She has to live with this? It's terrible. Anyway, Greg Setzer. Let's see. But it seems like there's nothing but commercials. The next podcast. Greg, you can haul ass, bitch. You're the kind of people that I don't do this show for. You understand that, Greg? Because the commercials, the sponsors, they're the reasons why I'm on. the reasons why I make a living, and Sean does too. I don't make a living from Greg Setzer being a fucking asshole, and all he's got to do is complain, and he's so stupid that he doesn't understand that there are human beings that need to make a living. I put insiders here that are on weekly. They get paid. What, you think that happens all for free? Or you think I survive because you hit the like button and you watch for a couple of minutes, and YouTube's going to provide me enough money for me and Sean and the insiders? You know, some of you out there, like Greg Setzer, you guys are fucking useless, to be quite honest. I do this show for Jake for Palatown in NorCal. That's who I do it for. True Fin fan. Captain Saki. The people that understand that I've got to make a living. The Sean's got to make a living. You know, understand? And if I'm going to provide you the information of telling you, yo, bro, Calais is gone already. And everybody else can write and do articles, and all. Everybody else is trying to mislead you in other ways because they think there's still some hope. You know, there's a reason why I have insight and others don't. But I don't get paid, or I can't survive and make a living and pay my mortgage and all that by Greg Setzer just watching and being an asshole. You understand? So the commercials are there because Welton Rayom and Subaru of Pembroke Pines and Acura, all these people, they're the reasons why we're on. We're not going to make it without Acura Pembroke Pines and Toyota of Hollywood. We're not. Moody Dental. There you go. There you go. Orvieto's Awards, R&M Contractors, Caneswear. That's why there has to be commercials and billboards, because the idea, Greg Setzer, is that these are the people, 3A Graphics, that keep us alive, and Sloman's Home Shield and all this, because then you visit them and you thank them for giving you the show that gives it to you straight on everything going on. Dolphins, Panthers, Marlins, Heat. Best insight on the Dolphins by miles. By miles. We get more things right than everybody else. We get them right way before everybody else. We're not perfect. We're going to get a couple of things wrong here and there. So you should be appreciative of that, Greg Setzer. You should say, whoa, man, you know, he's got some great sponsors. Osmani Garcia, if I got to sell my home, Osmani will sell your home in 30 days or he'll buy that shit. I've known Osmani for 15 years. That's why I'm here, bro, because Osmani's there. And because Lisa Rose listens all the time, and Frankie Fresco, and people like Chase One and Skylar Tipton. And these are the people that I fucking love, and I want to do anything for them. They don't complain. They contribute. That's what you're supposed to do. Listen, contribute, disagree, agree. But to complain about human beings trying to make a living, you're a fucking asshole. Are we clear on that, Greg? You're a fucking asshole. You're an ignorant fucking asshole. And I don't need you on the platform. Brother, I block people all the time. Hundreds and thousands on Twitter. I don't give a shit. I do this show for me and for Sean and for the people that actually care and really contribute and support. And here, look, here's Ty in the Bronx sending in a super chat. What the fuck do you do? Complain about a person human beings trying to make a living. So if you don't like the commercials and you don't like those exceptional people that are keeping this show alive for now 5 years, something that most people in South Florida can't do, go off on their own and survive on their own. They need to survive living off of a corporation that controls everything they say or do or whatever they think or whatever. So, Greg, what you should do is say, man, I got to support Osmani Garcia. I got to call Moody Dental. I got to go to Caneswear. Big O at least says it like it is. No politics. He doesn't give a shit if it's red or blue. He doesn't care if it's the Panthers. He doesn't care if it's Pat Riley. He doesn't care if it's the Dolphins. He's going to tell it like it is. May agree with them, may not agree with them, but at least it's not driven by anything corporate. That's what you should be saying, Greg Setzer. Fuck, man, I don't get to see this stuff everywhere else. If not, I got to have media members that are trying to bait me and clickbait me and writing stuff that they just need clicks for. Orlando doesn't do that to me. He doesn't give me clickbait shit. He just tells it like it is. I may agree, I may not agree. But damn, a lot of the shit he says happens. That's the people I broadcast for every day. And I weed out the assholes. And I weed out the assholes that, like, if they're there to complain or troll or whatever, or dominate the chat, we get rid of your ass. There'll be plenty of people like Ragin and Horn Dog. You know, I could just keep naming them as they show up and I see the names, Edward, Thirst, and Howe. I know who they are. And those are the people that I will hug and get to know, and some of them will become my friends. And that's the way it goes. That's how this whole thing works out. For me, it's a relationship. And it's a two-way relationship. So if you want to be an asshole, oh, buddy, I can be the biggest asshole in the world. So you want to be a smart ass? Oh, buddy, I can be a bigger smart ass. You know? So, I mean, that's kind of been proven on this platform over and over, and in my career over and over and over again. Whether it's management, whether it's listeners, whatever it is, I don't take shit from anybody. So there it is. So if you haven't understood what this show is, it's two men putting together a broadcast every day that is unfiltered, that is completely objective, and it is not tied to any kind of corporation, any team, any nothing. So you should appreciate it. And we do something, Sean and I, that no one else can do. Pretty much. Outside of who? Dan Lebitard. That's it. And he took it to another level. But very few people can just detach themselves from corporate America and go on their own and run their own platform. If they did, they would. So maybe you should sit back and appreciate what really goes on here instead of complaining like a little bitch. And by the way, for me to do what I'm doing now, not for nothing, proves I got bigger balls than most people ever in this business, because most of them would never try this because they'd fail miserably. Miserably. So, Greg Setzer, stick it where the sun don't shine, baby. Ty in the Bronx, thank you, sir. Big O, right again. Blind ass fan, loses again. True Finn fan. 5-6 win season coming up. Anybody want to bet? I don't think you want to bet that one, bro. I don't think you want to bet that one. I'm pretty sure you don't want to bet that one. It'd be pretty scary to bet positively for the Miami Dolphins this year. I got to tell you. By the way, the Omega Realty Group and my guy, Osmani Garcia. And let me tell you something, folks. I've known Osmani, like I told you, for 15 years. And if you're looking to sell your home anywhere in Florida, by the way, because he does have the 990 program, but he is guaranteeing you to sell your home in 30 days or less, or he'll buy it himself. No excuses, no delays, no fine print. This is, if you're real and you're serious about selling, you call my guy, Osmani Garcia, 305-440-1990, and we'll see if your home qualifies. All right? Osmani Garcia delivers results, folks. All right? I'm telling you. Osmani Garcia, he can sell your home in 30 days guaranteed. And the guarantees are backed by action, so don't wait. Restrictions apply, of course. But you call him, all right? 305-440-1990. That's 305-440-1990. Use that QR code also. But call my friend Osmani Garcia, and I promise you He is going to take care of you. Good people there, Osmani Garcia. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. It's another way that people support us, by the way. There you go. Instead of complaining like a little bitch like you, Greg. See? People actually send in donations and help us. That's kind of the way it goes. There's True Fin Fan sending in one for Greg Bitch Ass. So, Greg, you did something. True Fin Fan sent in a donation on your behalf, calling it Greg Bitch Ass. And thank you, True Fin Fan, for the love on Cash App. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can also make a donation on PayPal too for you out of country folks, because I know that folks that are out of the United States, it's hard for them to use Cash App or Venmo. So you can use PayPal. That's another way. Christian DiMartino sent in a little love on Venmo. He says, put this towards the Spain trip. Thank you for the content as always. Thank you, Christian D. I appreciate you, sir. That is very kind. Very, very kind. Love it. All right. Oh, man. Too funny, man. Too funny. True Fin Fan. Another super chat. Thank you, True Fin Fan. You're strong today. Thank you, sir. I mean, you're strong every day. Greg doesn't have a home. Here's 35 in he's 35 in mom's house. Tiger Shark Tony says, thank you, Big O, for all the content you provide, and thank you for all the sponsors. Damn right, bro. Without our amazing sponsors, we're nowhere, dude. We're absolutely nowhere. Nowhere. That is just something that, you know, Hialeah Park Casino has been with me for like 20 years, dude. 20 years. Radio, and now all 5 years on the platform. You know, they're the reason we survive. You know, I mean, without the Brunetti family, we're screwed. Without the Big Cheese, we're screwed. You know, I mean, it's just so stupid, you know, for people to complain about a commercial. And by the way, Hialeah Park, they just gave away Mercedes this weekend. Okay, they took the SUV, I believe, and then now they're going to give away $50,000 in Bitcoin. And I wonder who gave them that idea. Where'd they get that idea of Bitcoin? You know, just amazing. Really is. Let's see. Chase One goes, this show is completely free for us and people still complain, right? Isn't that the bitch? Right? It's like, it's amazing to me how you still have people to complain about something that is free. And we don't even, you know, people have told me a lot. Oh no, you should do it all as a service and all that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. You know, that's why I do the donations. That way it's from your heart, dude. And if you go visit Hialeah Park, or hopefully you win some bets and you use the QR code and pick up $100, or you save 10% at Caneswear or whatever it is. But, you know, that's what I'd rather. I'd rather you do it from your heart, that you're like, hey, man, I want to support, you know, Sean. I want to support, you know, hey, man, you know, Ira and Feronis and Manny, all these guys do a great job every week and all that. I want to support this platform. So I'm going to go to Caneswear. I'm going to spend a couple bucks with Brett and all the great people out there. I'm going to tell them about the Big O. I need a car. I'm going to go buy a Toyota. Hey, by the way, I heard it on the Big O show. You know, just that's how you repay us. That's exactly how you repay us. You hit the like button, all that. Complaining? Bro, get a life. Understand, we're trying to make a living here. And we don't make a living from views. It's nice. It helps. The likes, it helps, but it's not going to keep us afloat. It's just not. It just contributes a tiny bit, but it's not going to keep us afloat. Without Toyota of Hollywood, without Acura Pembroke Pines, yeah, we're not going anywhere. I can't do this every day for you guys. I can't find the information, and I can't dedicate myself to this. And that's kind of what I've done for 35 years. Dedicated myself to this. That's probably why I have a better read than most people about all the sports in town. So, and if you listen long enough, you'll notice it. Anyway, NorCal goes, Big O is the real Finns fan. Best source for knowledge. Greg, send Big O a super chat to redeem yourself. Now, usually those kind of people, they just like to complain. They're not really about the family. They're not. They're not about joining us. They just want to be dicks. That's all. That's what it is. Let's see. Armstead may be leaving. None of our QBs are good enough to win the playoffs. The team isn't good enough to win the playoffs, Lance. It's not the quarterback. Quarterback's more than good enough to win the playoffs. But, whatever, you can fool yourself all you want. Everything that the Dolphins do now, they did pretty much with every other quarterback the last 40 years. Okay? The only time you had a little extra success was because you had an ultimate freak in Marino. But that's a once-in-a-generation thing. You don't get those kind of guys ever. The Kansas City Chiefs have been around longer than the Miami Dolphins. And they finally got a freak in Mahomes. Len Dawson wasn't a freak. Steve DeBerg wasn't a freak. Like Kansas City never had a freak. Like Len Dawson was a solid quarterback, like a Phil Simms. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't a freak. We had our freak. We just didn't do anything with him. And with the freak, we didn't win on the road. We didn't win in cold games. We rarely won any big playoff games. We only had a couple of runs. And whenever you ran into big teams with the freak, you got your ass kicked. So, maybe you're young, Lance. You haven't been around long. But Greasy had half the talent of Marino. But guess what he had? Double the offensive line, double the defense, double the running game. So, kind of helps. Kind of helps. Actually, triple the running game. Okay? But, hey, let's keep the facts out. Facts don't matter. The only time the Dolphins have ever been successful is when they used to dominate on the offensive and defensive lines. When was that, Lance? Oh, I'm sorry, 50 years ago. But hey, bro, make all the excuses you want. Blame it all on Tua, because of course it must be all Tua's fault. Yeah. Common denominator. For 40 years, they never win on the lines of scrimmage. They get their asses kicked every single time. I wonder what the common denominator is on why the Dolphins never win anything. Under Marino, under Fiedler, under whoever, bro. Okay? Cleo Lemon, Tua, you name it. Fitzpatrick, whatever quarterback. I wonder why you never win anything. And the freak got you to a couple of stages. And when you got to those stages, you got thoroughly embarrassed. Was it the freak's fault? Nah, it was the line of scrimmages. But hey, Lance, you keep going, baby. You really know football. You know football, dude. Boy, do you know football. Woo! Woo! By the way, Sean, it's time to light it up. And no, it's not 420, but we should light up that cigar. Why? Miami FC got a win yesterday over Inter Miami CF. They won 1-0 in the U.S. Open Cup, and they advanced to round 3. So give Miami FC a victory cigar. All right. By the way, Toyota of Hollywood will be there next Wednesday. This is the first Wednesday of the month, and we're usually there the second Wednesday of the month, unless I'm concussed. Because that's what happened last month. The second Wednesday of the month, well, I had just a little accident there, and fresh out of the hospital, wasn't ready to go, but Herbie and the great people at Toyota of Hollywood, our real sponsors, Greg, the people that care about us, not you, they accommodated us, and we did it the following week. But this time, we will be there next week because I don't plan on getting concussed again. The official #1 Toyota volume dealer. You got to check it out for yourself. And right now, the Tacoma double cab, beautiful vehicle, SR5 4-wheel drive. You can get it for $439 a month. Have you seen the trucks out there, the Tundras? Oh, man, they are just absolutely amazing. Go check it out. The RAV4, the Corolla, the Camry, the Supra. The vehicles are amazing, and the selection is second to none. That's the thing I love about Toyota of Hollywood. All right, 1841 North Sheridan Street, right between Hollywood and Sheridan, right there on 441. But what I love is selection and convenience. If it's too hot out there, well, they've got so many floors of cars under roof that you're away from the heat. Oh, wait a minute, it's raining. No problem. You're not going to get wet. Everything's under roof. And then you want to pick a Tundra. Well, there's like 35 of them, 40 of them. Go ahead, pick it out. You want a Camry, you want a RAV4, whatever it is that you're trying to pick, you got a large selection so you can pick the car you want, the color you want, the style you want, the model you want, and you're going to get the price you want. And that's at Toyota of Hollywood. All right. Let's see. David Craig was pretty good for the Chiefs in the Seahawks. He used to fumble way too much. He wasn't a bad passer. You are correct, but he had too many turnovers in his career. He had small hands. Kyle Cockrell is in the house. I got me some Casp again yesterday, Kyle. It's just like it's stupid. It's really stupid. Like, okay, I'm going to buy 1,000 Caspa for under $70. Okay, let's go. I was like, okay, I got a couple extra bucks. And, it's just like, it's so ridiculous right now. So just keep stacking and waiting. That's all I'm doing, Kyle. Just a little bit right there. Just threw it out there. And I said, hey, what the hell? Stack a little. Good data. Stack a little. You know what I'm saying? So it's a beautiful thing. Cosa Nostra says cannabis. Not sure, but okay. All right. Enjoy. That's what I would say. Big O, give me the blind ass fan award, NorCal says, if I'm wrong here. The O-line's inconsistency is the biggest reason Miami can't run on 3rd and 4th downs. Yeah. The O-line's the biggest reason why. Okay. Like, when Tua tells you, oh, I don't have to worry about the O-line, I get rid of it really quickly. Yeah, that's not a good thing. It's good for him that he has to get rid of it quickly. But if you have to get rid of it because your O-line sucks, that's not good. Your quarterback doesn't need those moments where he needs 3, 4, 5 seconds. The moments where your line is stout and you're like, holy shit, he had a lot of time to pass. And it's Tom Brady, it's Peyton Manning, it's Mahomes, it's whoever, all the good quarterbacks. They have the moments where they have to get rid of it constantly, quickly. And then there's a couple of moments where your line and everybody picked up the blocks and the blitz, and your guy gets to settle in and gets to his 4th read or comes back to his 1st read. You know what I'm saying? Quarterbacks need that. Tua needs that. Marino needs that. Every quarterback in the world needs that. And you are, look, 1,000% right. Greasy could smoke a cigarette back there or he could hand it off to Zonka Kicker Morris. Did you listen? Because, you know, other people out there, they don't understand football. I'm sorry, did Marino have Zonka kick Morris? Did he have half of a kick? Did he have did he have a Mo, a Kai, a Z? Did he have that at least? I know he didn't have the Anka. I know he didn't have the Riss. No. I know he didn't have the Ik. He had the kick, but not the Ik. Do you understand that? Like, I can hand it off to 3 guys, and then they're going to run behind 5 guys that are awesome. Yes, NorCal. Of course it is, dude. Of course it is. It's extremely important that you can have. Why didn't Seattle become a dynasty? Because the assholes didn't do what you're supposed to do. Bro, just hand the ball off. Just hand the ball off. You have the line, you have the back, you're at the line of scrimmage. Who's stopping Marshawn Lynch? And you get cute and you get stupid. And that's our problem with our guy. Our guy constantly thinks he's cute and he ends up looking stupid. Football's simple, bro. Patrick Mahomes doesn't win championships when his line gets his ass kicked. His line got his ass kicked this year, and he lost. A couple of years back, the last year Tyreek was there. What happened? Line got their ass kicked. They fixed it. They went on to win. Now it got old and fucked up. They lost. Yeah, the freak will get you there, but you need the help. It hasn't changed. The game hasn't changed. You got to win at the line of scrimmage. But somehow or another, the Miami Dolphins, outside of the 70s, Don Shula included, they never figured it out. They never figured it out. Almost. Webb Sims, Stevenson gone. You had a Ruddy, who was a good player, but not Stevenson. And then you had other players, Mark Dennis or Dellenbach or whatever. You had other players on the right side and all that. They're not Webb or Sims. So, and then when Stevenson was gone, you never really put in a special center ever again. You had a Langer, but don't tell these other guys, like, the other guy that was blaming everything on Tua, Lance McDonald or whatever. Don't tell him about Jim Langer or Dwight Stevenson. Don't do that. Because, of course, that's not important to Tua. Why would it be important to Tua? Why would it be important to Marino in the running game in this back half of his career? Because he only had Stevenson for a couple of years. And then all you had was Webb and Sims. And that's it, dude. There was nothing else that was special after Webb and Sims. You can't win like that. But whatever, man. It just really football has not changed. But we somehow can't figure it out, and then we got some guy that wants to get all cutesy. And, bro, you need to fight in a phone booth. It's a tough man competition. It's not a contest of models. Okay? In football, you're going to win because you win the tough man competition. That happens at the line of scrimmage. We want to win the runway. Sorry, bro. That's not going to help you. All right? So if your thing is walking the runway and you're staring and your pose and your stance, no, that's not how you're going to win. Posing and looking pretty and all that, that's not football. Fighting in a phone booth, that's football. That's what allows you to look pretty. And if you can't win the fight in the phone booth, you're not going to win in this game. And Kansas City is a great example. The freak can get you there, both Mahomes and Chris Jones, because those are two freaks. But in the end, if you can't do enough at the line of scrimmage, and Philly was better, who the fuck is Jalen Hurts, dude? A running quarterback that's a mediocre passer. But he's an outstanding athlete, and all you need is the athlete to make a couple of throws. Jalen Hurts ain't shit as a passer. Okay? Tua kicked his ass right out of Alabama. When push came to shove at halftime, Nick Saban said, no, I need a passer. I don't need an athlete, bro. Yeah, Jalen, you have a seat. Tua, take over. But what can Alabama do that Miami never does for 40 years? Win at the line of scrimmage. So if you give Tua a greasy, a team that can win at the line of scrimmage, they'll do the rest. So NorCal, there's no blind-ass fan there, bro. That's pure intelligence. That's what that is. Pure intelligence. Win at the line of scrimmage and make life for your quarterback so much easier. Bro, you're Trent Dilfer, but you won at the line of scrimmage. So all they needed you was to make a couple of throws because you ain't shit as a quarterback. Trent Dilfer coached Tua, so that's the best prospect I've ever seen because the kid's a passer. But he's not going to carry you with the football. He's not going to run through people. That's not who he is. You need to build a line. But we don't get that. We never get that. We've never gotten that for 40 years. We never do it for any quarterback. Believe it or not. That's just the way it is. We had the freak, and Shula failed to build the line. Shula failed to build what he had in the 70s. Do you know why he failed to build what he had in the 70s? Because he had somebody else building it for him in the 70s. You know, that's kind of the fact that we all leave out with Shula. Once we got into the end of the very early 80s and everyone was gone, Young and Beathard and all those people were gone, Shula wasn't shit anymore as a personnel guy. Beathard did better than Shula as he left and traveled around and went to different teams. Young did better than Shula with the Giants, winning championships because he built those teams that Parcells won. Parcells didn't shop for those groceries. That was Young, former Miami Dolphin executive. I mean, it's all there in the history. Those of us that have lived it and seen it and all that, we watched it. And we know exactly what's going on now. You're not building it the right way. You never have. For 40 years, from Shula till now, you refuse to win at the line of scrimmage. Well, guess what you're also going to refuse? You're going to refuse your fan base to ever win a championship. Ain't that a bitch? Okay? And don't forget, folks, to visit our friends at Caneswear. Brett, Jeff, all the great people out there. They've got anything and everything with the Canes logo on it. And remember, when you use our code BIG010, you will get 10% off. Jeff and all the great people out there are fantastic. They got Dolphins gear. They got Marlins gear. They got Panthers gear. They got Inter Miami gear. They're even going to get Fort Lauderdale United gear soon, too. So all of our local teams, pro teams, are going to be there. All right? Probably have the Fort Lauderdale, I don't know what we're going to be called on the men's side. But if they're called Fort Lauderdale United, eventually the men's gear will be there too. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So Caneswear, 2655 South University Drive in Davie. And by the way, if you order online over $99, you will get free shipping. Okay? Except for you, Greg. I'm going to tell them not to give you anything since you don't appreciate shit. Gus1388, thank you for the love in the super chat, sir. Greg the Moocher. That's right. I'm going to tell you a story about Minnie the Moocher. All right. Do a little Scatman Crowthers for you there. Ty in the Bronx, thank you for the love in the super chat. See? The other guy just complains and bitch, and the rest of you contributing. We love that. Joe Thomas built our team. 67, 68 drafts. Big O. Yes, Thomas, Young, Beathard. We lost all those guys. Exactly. You're correct. Totally correct. All those guys. Once he lost all those people, life was different, bro. Life was different. Ho Yoon. You're out of control. Thank you, sir, for your incredibly generous donation. Again, reason why we survive. People like you, Ho Yoon. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you again, Ho Yoon. Very, very generous. Alexis Palenzuela says, bye, Felicia, Greg. Also love on Venmo. Thank you, sir. Very nice. You guys are awesome, man. That is very kind. Brian Nobles, thank you for the love on Cash App. He says, for love for the show, thanks for getting me into hockey. Well, you know what, Brian? Let's say you and I was always into it, and I loved hockey, and I loved the Panthers, and always gave the Panthers love, even in the bad years. But guess what, bro? I wouldn't be able to convince your ass to love it if Vinny Viola and Doug Sifu didn't take over and show the true leadership and commitment that you need in order to win and create a culture. You know, Mickey did it a long time ago when he brought in Pat and he made that commitment, and we've been in heaven ever since, okay? Because even in the last 10 years where Riley is probably in his C game, still gone to the finals, still been in the Eastern Conference finals. It's still been pretty good, you know, still get to the playoffs quite a bit. So even Riley at his C game, we're pretty damn good. Okay. So I'm good with that. That's why I never get off the Riley bandwagon. I'll tell you that he's not doing well, but still, overall, let him figure it out, whatever. I'm good with that. But since he took over, well, Viola and Sifu have done that too. Since they took over, the culture's different. They're actually winning. They're committed. They're bringing stars here, real stars. And then that allows me to convince you to get on board. So it helps. If they constantly suck and fail and all that, it's going to be hard for you to build that enthusiasm for it. Now, if you have a lot of success, like let's say with the Heat, you can deal with any down years or things like that because the Heat are the Heat, dude. They're fantastic. They'll figure it out. Okay, we got to go through tough times, but they've given us great times. They've earned our trust. The trust is in the bank. That's what the Panthers are doing for us now, bro. So that's why I'm glad you're on board, and I'm glad more people are on board and getting it, dude. Ocala Joe, thank you, sir. And Lourdes, I know, both are there. So thanks for keeping it real, my brother. And more love on Cash App. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's the way you keep us alive. Thank you. And Ty in the Bronx, a little Cash App. He says, preach, Big O, preach. Thank you, my friend. Again, you guys are amazing. Ty, another donation on the super chat. He says the Warfield trade in the 70s cemented the dynasty. I know. We had great front offices, dude. Thomas, Young, and Beathard helped Shula big time. That's why we were so good. It's what people don't understand. But once those guys left and Shula was on his own for real, we were screwed in that sense. Shula was still a great coach, but he wasn't a good GM. We have to say it. And the Marino pick, we got lucky. We got lucky that Marino had a bad senior year and cocaine rumors. That's all. If Marino doesn't have a bad senior year and throws a bunch of interceptions and doesn't have the party cocaine rumors going around, he doesn't fall to the Dolphins. Again, know the history. Okay, so some of it is luck. It just is. Some of it is just flat out luck. And we still didn't win it. We got gifted from the Lord, one of the greatest, for me, the greatest pastor I've ever seen in my life. But whatever. You know, want to argue second, third, fifth, eighth, whatever. I don't give a shit. Okay? He's the best in my eyes. And we didn't take advantage because it goes back to what NorCal said. We forgot how to win, and we have forgotten how to win for 40 years. And until we can push somebody on the other side of the line, we're done. We're done. Brian Landis, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Let's see, what do we have here? A lot of you are talking to each other. So would you say if the Dolphins would win in the line of scrimmage, McDaniel would not be that bad of a coach? Yeah, Frankie. But Frankie, this is the idiot that thinks he can make anybody a guard. And by the way, I'm glad you brought that up, Frankie. There's a disease I'm listening to now. I'm reading. I'm watching. People are saying this now. Are you ready? Are you ready with me? You can't draft a guard at 13. Why? Is he a badass guard? Is he a guy that can move and pull and disrupt and molest the guy in front of him? Can he do that? Why? Because you're supposed to take him at 18 or 25 or 22? Take him, dude. Well, we're not supposed to pay a guard $20 million. And what are guards going for now? We got to stop with that. We got to stop with that. If the guard or tackle, whatever he is, but he's a guard, you're going to play him as a guard. I don't care if he's a guard tackle combination. That don't mean shit to me. Or he's just a guard. It doesn't mean shit to me. You need a mauler that can move, right? That's what this system is. A mauler that can move. If you're not a mauler that can move, like the Booker kid, that doesn't fit here. But if you're a mauler that can move, you don't trade down to 18 or 22, assuming he's going to be there, because maybe he's not. So instead, bro, don't pull the bullshit. If there's a guard there that can fit and can do exactly what you can do and take your line to the next level, you draft him. And you don't blink. We got to stop with that. We got to stop with that. We did that stupid shit last year. I know I did. And at least I will admit whenever I'm wrong. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to gladly admit when I'm wrong. And I was one of the idiots like most of us. Yeah, no, Rob Hunt's commanding too much money. Well, that's where the market's going, bro. We got to pay it. That's what we should have said, and we didn't. And now we find out that's the market. So it was the first year of the market being $20 million for a guard. So be it. In Major League Baseball right now, did you see it, Sean, what the minimum salary is in baseball right now, the average minimum in baseball? $5 million. The minimum. Not that the Marlins are paying. Again, that's outliers, but okay, it is what it is. We got to stop. We got to stop. If the guy can play and maul and move, you gotta have the M&Ms here. Fat guys and M&Ms, maul and move. Because you got to be able to pull. You got to be able to get to the second level. You can't be a guy that has to stay in a phone booth like the Booker kid. Okay, he's a good player, but not for this system. So if you can't do that, then you don't take him. But if you can, you draft him. You don't blink, you don't flinch, you don't do that anymore. Learn your lesson. Can the guy play? Are you convinced he will be an ass kicker? Then take him. Take him. Take him. Because if there's not an ass kicker in the second round, then take him right now. So I'm glad you brought that up, Frankie, because that's not a note I had there, but it's one that I had in the back of my mind that I was thinking about throughout the day as I'm preparing, because it takes me all day to prepare for this show, because obviously I have to come up with things to talk about. Let's see what else. True Fin Fan says the Miami Heat have definitely earned my trust. 30 years of excellence. I'll go through the 5 years of rebuilding. The Dolphins, they haven't earned the right. They did in the 70s, but that expired. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah. Right now, it's only the Heat and the Panthers have earned your trust. Those are the only people that have earned your trust. I mean, Inter would got to earn your trust because they'll spend. You know what I'm saying? So that part you got to trust about Inter Miami already. It's kind of crazy. Those people will spend, bro. Moss doesn't screw around. They're dysfunctional. Don't get me wrong. I mean, they change coaches like underwears. They change front office like underwears. They're a dysfunctional bunch. Let's not twist the whole Inter Miami thing. It's an extremely dysfunctional bunch, but they throw so much money at it. They do all right. It's pretty sweet to have money. You know, I don't know what that feeling's like. I know I'll never have that feeling, but it's got to be a pretty good feeling when you have so much money you can throw it at it and almost fix anything. Edward Thurston House says Dolphins get all the rumored drug addicts and they turn out to be great. Dan Marino, Laramie Tunsil examples, all rumors. Yep. I'm trying to think of did we draft a guy that had an alcoholic drug issue? Well, no. Dion. What was it? The guy they traded up for a number 3 had an alcoholic and drug issue. Dion Jordan? Was it?
Jordan.
Dion Jordan, sir. So we failed there. If I start going through the memory bank right now, I don't think that's right, sir. I think there's a couple guys that we took that had some issues and we got screwed. I want to say, well, it wasn't a draft. It was free agent, but I know the Chuck Muncie thing didn't work out. He had some issues. Probably a couple. No, Ronnie Brown was an exceptional human being, bro. Frankie, don't ever say that. Ronnie Brown has never been drugs or alcohol, bro. No. You don't know Ronnie Brown, bro. Ronnie Brown is an excellent human being. Was he worthy of the number 2 pick? Well, that's a whole different conversation. Okay, that one is, but no. No, please don't put that. Don't ever do that to Ronnie Brown. Ronnie Brown is a phenomenal human being. Okay? Phenomenal human being. The Ronnie Brown I know, Ronnie Brown is awesome, dude. Okay? So, I don't know. And he was a pretty good player. Was he worthy of the 2nd overall pick? No. Okay? I can't argue with that one. But he's a good dude, bro. Good dude overall, bro. Good dude. What's it called? Wait a minute. Are we going to say that weed mask that was on Tunsil's face was a rumor? LOL. Looked pretty legit to me. No, that was legit. That was legit. But you know what, True Fin Fan? Weed is nothing, bro. I don't give a shit if a guy smokes weed. Alcohol is the bigger issue. Cocaine, women, There's a whole bunch of things that are way worse. Weed's not going to stop somebody from being a good player at all. Nobody, think about it, True Fin fan. There's no player in the league, in any league, that you can say, oh, well, yeah, he smoked weed, he can't play. Nobody ever said that. You may have suspended Ricky Williams for that. Didn't mean he can't play. He was using the weed because he didn't want to use drugs to relieve his body from pain. Now, if you're an alcoholic like Lawrence Phillips, that's going to hurt you. You understand? So that's where, and I know you're kind of particular about that because I've heard you talk about that, but weed doesn't get into anything. Potheads don't go steal banks. Potheads don't go break into pharmacies. Alcoholics, crack addicts, you know, the serious drugs. Those are the people. Potheads want to be left alone. They want to go watch a movie and laugh and trip out and go eat, and they don't cause any problems, actually. So the Laramie Tunsil mask thing to me is a joke. Because if you're not drafting somebody because he smoked a joint or two, oh, give me a break. Now, if you're drinking bottles of vodka, now we got a problem. Now we got a problem. Okay? You know? So, like Ryan Mallett, I want to say, is that the name of the quarterback that was drafted? I want to say 3rd round, 4th round by the Patriots. Was his name Ryan Mallett? He went to Arkansas. And one of the things that a scout told me coming out, and I remember if you listened to the show back then, and Ryan Mallett's name would come up because he had an arm, and I would say, well, he, you know, some scouts tell me that he wins a lot of the drinking contests around campus. The linebacker from USC, you know, these are things that Greg is not going to appreciate over the years. The linebacker from USC that came here towards the end of his career, he was overweight and alcoholic. He played for the Cincinnati Bengals. He was drafted by the Bengals for many years, came out of USC. He was part of that group of linebackers at USC years ago. One of them was on steroids, and this kid, the kid that I'm talking about, kind of had like a Polynesian background, and he was here. What was his name, bro? Somebody help me out. Anyways, when he was coming out of college, and if you were listening to my show, and I would tell you, and I would talk to scouts at the Combine, East West, whatever it was, Malaluga. Yep. Thank you, Jonathan Jensen. You're a freaking stud. So if you were listening to my show, then straight up, I told you Malaluga, well, some scouts tell me he's a functioning alcoholic. I'm sorry, what did Malaluga have problems with throughout his entire career? Oh, it was alcohol. Damn, wow. Shit, I talked about that when he was coming out of college. That's the shit you get on this show because a writer is not going to write that. But I'll say it. And if there's anybody out there, I don't know, in the 107 now, or anybody that downloads it later or watches it later, they're going to go, oh, I remember when O said that Malaluga was a functioning alcoholic. There was the Hawaiian quarterback and the Tennessee quarterback, Eric something. The Jets drafted him. They were late to the first practice of the Senior Bowl. I was the only one that told everybody, yeah, they had a drinking contest between the two. Jets ended up drafting the guy. You're at the Senior Bowl, the most important interview week of your effing life. And you and the Hawaiian quarterback are having a drinking contest. The Hawaiian quarterback was drafted by the Washington Redskins. He had a hip issue, and he's out of football. Good kid, by the way. He was a cool kid. I didn't get to know the Eric guy nearly as much, but I got to know the Hawaiian kid, the kid that played for Hawaii. A lot of moxie and all that. Wasn't going to be a guy that played at the next level much. But anyway, you know.
Was that Colt Brennan?
Colt Brennan. That's it. And then all you got to do is tell me the year he came out at quarterback. Another quarterback came out of Tennessee. His name is Eric something. And he was drafted by the Jets. And those two had a drinking contest the night before they were starting their first practice. So, anyway, Devon Bess. Yeah, but Devon Bess was one that the problems developed after. We didn't know. Eric Ainge, Edward Thurston Howe, nice job by you. Colt Brennan and Eric Ainge. You know, again, the stuff will get you on this show. You will not get anywhere else. Okay. All right. And next offseason, we'll drop a bomb. Just for you all. We'll drop a bomb. Next offseason. Next summer, at some point, pretty sure I'll be able to drop the bomb that I've been holding for a while. Brian Nobles, you, sir. Thank you. Another cash app. Very nice. He says, have a nice day again. Love the show. You are too kind, sir. Thank you, Brian. Very nice of you. Very nice. All of you out there, thank you. All those of you that have made donations, those of you that have hit the like button, those of you that visit the best sponsors out there that support us. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Can't tell you enough about that. The situation with Mike McDaniel is so dire, okay? And for me, this season is, nothing. It's over before it even starts because of Mike McDaniel. And I was thinking about this. Do you know the only way you might be able to get production out of Mike McDaniel? If you were the 95 Cowboys. Jimmy Johnson is pushed out. His entire team is intact. Okay. Plus they had Dion. His entire coaching staff is intact. So there is continuity top to bottom, everything you've been doing the last couple of years, and you add Barry Switzer. And all his goofy ass has to do is just handle the press conferences. That's it. The assistant coaches run the practices. The assistant coaches create all the game plans. The players already been, it's a loaded team. It's a dominant team. Oh, by the way, it's a team that, I don't know if you know this, Sean, but those Cowboys, they won at the line of scrimmage. I don't know if you know that because, that's like a unknown concept here in South Florida. But anyway, they were dominating at the line of scrimmages, both. They had one of the greatest offensive line in the history of the NFL. And all they did was the guy that built all of that, they took him out and then they put a puppet in there. And all he had to do was handle the media and say a couple of jokes. That's the only way you would ever win with Mike McDaniel. Where he was put in a position where he just handled the media and some jokes. And he's, look at the bullshit he lays on the media now. He is the best, the worst at it on how he goes about it, but the best at just talking bullshit about everything. Oh, well, if they vote Tyreek, well, then that means that the team now believes in him and this and that. Load of shit. If your team votes that guy captain, your team's as fraudulent as it gets. Your team has no balls. Your team has no character. Your team has no scruples. If the Dolphins players vote Tyreek captain, so this guy is not going to get you out of anything. He's not made for this. He's not a coordinator, much less a head coach. Mike McDaniel is a position coach that is so out of place. It's not even funny. And the only way you succeed is if the 95 Cowboys were here with the Miami Dolphins in 2025. Okay? 20 years later, we get that kind of team here. Okay, then maybe Mike McDaniel can win. But outside of that, if he has to be in charge and he's the one that has to put everybody in positions to win, and he's the guy that has to make all the decisions in order for you to win, and he's the guy that is leading you, you're a failure. Mike McDaniel cannot do anything from stopping this team from having another mediocre season and leading to his downfall and his firing. That's the inevitable. And that's what will happen. Damn, Ty in the Bronx. Another one. Thank you, sir, for the love in the super chat. I remember Mallet, Big O, R.I.P. He had issues. Oh, yeah, I know. Poor kid had alcohol issues. Big time. Big time. Sad. Happens, man. Happens. That's why I tell True Fin fan, the whole bong thing, smoking's a joke, bro. Who gives a shit if somebody smokes? You know what I'm saying? The other stuff, think about it. Nobody ever says this pothead ripped off a bank. This pothead kidnapped people. This pothead took over the Nakatomi building. Potheads don't do that, bro. They don't want to. They want to go party and have fun and go surf and go to concerts and hang out and watch television all day and skateboard and surf or whatever it is that they do. They're not out there committing crimes. Like Ray Malaluga one night just got his car and started running over parking meters at USC. I think he almost ran over a cop too back at USC. I think it's something like that. Somebody was trying to maybe it was a parking, like a police parking meter person or whatever. And I think he was almost running her over or something like that. I vaguely remember that story. And that poor kid had alcohol issues. Now he's a grown-ass man. Vontae Davis. I didn't know he had the alcohol issues that he had, but when he got drafted, I've told this story before, but some of you may have not heard it before. I know Sean's heard it a couple times. So I'm sitting there with Rose, Cephalo, and Bo Camper. And so I'm playing the Kuiper role. Whenever they pick somebody, I talk about it, blah, 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 da, da. And so they pick Vontae Davis. And there's 1,500, 2,000 fans there at the stadium. Maybe one of you was there that are watching or listening later on or whatever. And so they go to me, hey, what do you think about Vontae Davis? I go, well, he can play, but he's got maturity issues. And dude, right away, when I said maturity issues, that's it. Booed by so many. Boo, 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 because I'm being Mr. Negative. And I didn't say alcohol because I didn't have any insight on alcohol at that point. But I knew that at Illinois, he would tell the coaches, they would try to coach him up. And he says, man, I'm playing for Sundays, not Saturdays. That was his line. And then I also knew that his brother sent him a bunch of money because he had, he was the tight end that signed with San Francisco, and he got a big ass signing bonus back in the days when they used to give you big ass signing bonuses when you signed. And so I think the number was like 50,000 or something like that. He sent him at the beginning of the year. So Vontae was partying all the time and playing at Illinois. He could play, but he did have maturity issues. So I got ripped. And then when he got here, people saw he could play, but he had what? Maturity issues. And then we found out he had alcohol issues too on top of all of that. Again, the stuff that we get you here, nobody's going to get it for you guys. You know what I mean? So that's why we do what we do. And we do it because we love it. You know what I mean? And I love doing it for the people that appreciate it, like Ty in the Bronx. You know, people like that. That's what I like. Frankie Fresco, I bust his balls all the time. He gets it, bro. He gets it. You know, these are the people I do it for, man. You're the people that motivate me to do this all the time. Ryan C. Finsfan says Ronnie Brown played at Cartersville High School where I grew up. I was lucky to meet him. He's a great guy, and he signed my Chad Pennington jersey. Wildcat. Yeah, dude, Ronnie Brown is an exceptional person, bro. That's all I know about Ronnie Brown, and you'll never get me to say a bad word about him. If we have to talk football and talk about the overall number 2 pick, okay, yeah. He wasn't that kind of a back. That if you take a number 2, it has to be a guy that ends up in the Hall of Fame for you and dominates. And, it's like the way we speak of Zonka. If you take him number 2, it has to be an all-world player, and he wasn't that. Okay, he was a very good player, but he wasn't that. So I get it. But I'll never say a bad thing about the human being or anything else or the professional. He was as pro as it gets. He's a great dude. I would be super happy as a fan if the people in the locker room all had the character and the professionalism of a Ronnie Brown. I'm good. You want to be like Richmond Webb? You want to be like Calais Campbell? You want to be like those kind of guys? Jason Taylor? I'm good. That's what Ronnie Brown was. He was a man's man, a leader, a professional, all of that. A good football player. Okay, did he turn out to be the great football player you want a number 2 overall pick to be? No. Okay, that's different. That's a whole different conversation. But when it comes to being a human being and a professional, it doesn't get better than Ronnie Brown. It just doesn't. I mean, I don't know. What you have to be like Tim Tebow? Like you have to be like a saint? It's like the only way. You deliver kids, you circumcise them, you build hospitals. I mean, unless you're like Tim Tebow, who's like the perfect human being, that's about it. That's about it. That's where it stops. Anyway, you guys are a trip. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation as always on there, and you can make a PayPal donation. By the way, where is Bitcoin? Are we still in 85, 86 range? 86,498. 86,501. Trying to make it to 87. And then this afternoon when he announced all the tariffs. How about the market? Where's the market at right now? Market's up 154 points. It said 62, but I had just turned it on at the moment, so it got refreshed to 154. Not bad. S&P's up 20. NASDAQ approaching 2 points. All right. Not too bad. That's pretty good. All right, let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar and the phenomenal Alan Blanco. If your company, your corporation, your school, whatever it is, your entity is looking for uniforms, shirts, hats, whatever it is, you've got a get-together, all of that, call 3A Graphics. Last night, sadly on the ice, the Montreal Canadiens seem to have the Panthers number. I think they've won 5 straight against them. They beat the Panthers 3-2. Vanasek, by the way, was the goalie. 18 saves. Sam Sakevich and Mikola had the goals. Tonight, they're back in action so they can redeem themselves. They're on the road to take on Toronto. 7:30 will be the face-off. U.S. Open Cup action last night. Miami FC defeats Inter Miami CF 1-0. Bonfiglio with the goal in the 85th minute. It was a beautiful corner kick, and it was kind of like redirected. It was pretty cool. 85th minute. Tonight, we've got action in CONCACAF. Okay. Inter Miami, the big club. They're on the road to take on Los Angeles FC. This is going to be one hell of a game. That place is going to be loaded. It's going to be bonkers. And big game if they can beat LAFC. Inter Miami. I would imagine that Messi coming in the second half in the last game will play this game, but it's an 11:30 start time. 8:30 there in LA, but 11:30 for us here. So get ready to stay up late. Saturday, Fort Lauderdale United. The ladies travel to Tampa Bay to take on the Sun FC at Riverfront Stadium. Remember, you can watch that game on Peacock. So support the ladies at 7 o'clock. Also tonight, 7:30, the game I'm looking forward to in a big-time way. The Miami Heat taking on the Celtics. They've won 5 in a row. The Celtics are favored by 11. The Heat, the over and under is 213. The Heat are plus 425 on the money line. The Celtics are minus 575 on the money line. This is a great measuring stick for these young guys. Let's hope they give them one hell of a game and maybe even beat them. That's your 3A Graphics sports calendar. Give Alan Blanco a ring, 786-618-1443. 86,778. It's just moving up now. Interesting. I'm looking at the graph right now, and you look at the last 2 days of Bitcoin. It's kind of show you. It's kind of interesting because we talked about this yesterday. Take that billboard down there, Sean. And so remember yesterday we showed you how it was going parabolic and it was going up, right? Remember that? We were down at 82.6 and we climbed up to 85.29, right? And then we kind of stayed sideways all throughout the day. And this morning, we're at 84.6, just a little bit off of the 85.2. And now it just gone parabolic again. And it's going to 86.857 now. Interesting. So, I don't know. Might be nothing. Might be a fake pump. Then he mentions how bad the tariffs are today. And who knows, ladies and gentlemen? Nobody knows. Now, it also could be that they mention that it won't be as bad. It might be more positive for us, and then it really skyrockets. That could happen too, ladies and gentlemen. That can happen too. By the way, I do want to remind you, Moody S Dental, proud sponsors of our program, and we love talking about Eric and the family. They do excellent work. The father, as you see in the middle, we're talking about a man that is invented and created things, techniques that are now used by dentists all over the world. Mudias Dental, state of the art. Okay. Mahialeah or Plantation. What I love is when you go fill a crown, you know how it is. They take the measurements of the crown, then they put the fake crown in for a fill-in, and then you got to come back a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks later whenever they order it. Not at Mudias Dental. They take the measurements, and there's a machine in the back that is getting those measurements and making the tooth right there and then. I mean, it's just amazing stuff. So you want to keep it clean. You want to go to Mudias Dental, and they do it all, by the way. Invisaligns, dental implants, preventive care, cosmetic surgery. My wife's gone through the cosmetic surgery when she had a tooth replaced. They created the tooth. All of that, man. Telling you, Mudias Dental. My daughter goes there. My mother-in-law goes there. I go there. My wife goes there. The entire family. So if you live in Dade, call them. 305-821-0231. If you live in Plantation, in Broward, 954-692-6825. Worth the trip, worth the wait. You're going to love it. Great family. Very easygoing doctors, by the way. It's nice that dentists have great hands where you're not going in there to suffer a lot of pain. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Mudias Dental, baby. Keep it clean. All right. What do we have here? It's sad about Mike McDaniel because he's got the Dolphins to the playoffs for 2 years. But yes, you can see this team imploding this year because McDaniel won't change his ways. Yeah. McDaniel's a very likable guy. He's just not a guy that you want in charge of your team. That's it. So Armando goes, damn, Big O dropping a Hill story next summer. Yep. Got to wait till he's off the team. Let's see. Or Cecil from the Dolphins doing that burglary back in the day. Yeah. And he broke into a house where he was, what's it called? Like watching people. And then they woke up and he was like standing and the husband chased him out of the house and everything. Yeah. Cecil was not right in the head. Definitely not. And we're about to hit 87,000, by the way, for Bitcoin. Just so you'll know. Okay. We's about to hit 87,000. How about that, folks? It's crazy stuff. Hey, Sean, do me a favor. Give me a 1 minute break so I can drink a little bit of water and give me a little rest here. 1 minute, folks. Back with more.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island. When it comes to selling your home, efficiency is the best way, the less stress way. That's why Asmani Garcia and the Omega Home Realty Group is who you want to call. Sell your home for just $990. That's right, $990. No 6% commission. Asmani and Omega are the exclusive program director for just $990 in South Florida. Get full service real estate services like pro photos, beautiful brochures, Zillow and Alex, Realtor.com and Homes.com listings. Call Asmani to find out more at 305-440-1990. Scan the QR code or visit just990.com to get started. Omega Home Realty Group and Asmani Garcia are ready to present your home to thousands of prospective buyers. Call 305-440-1990. Call Asmani Garcia and tell him Big O sent you.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Right. I like it, bro. Man. Looks like Bitcoin is trying to make a little run here. We have now crossed $87,000. It is just going parabolic right now. Not bad. I like seeing that. We'll see. Now, really, a question. You know what I always ask myself about these kind of things right here at this moment? Are there insiders that know what Trump is going to say and do in the afternoon? And are they buying, anticipating that? Because if it's bad, we're going to go down. We're going to go back down to like 82 and 81 and 83 and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Either way, to me, I don't give a shit. If you buy it at 81 or 87 or 90, I think you're a genius. Doesn't matter to me. This thing's going to go to so many hundreds of thousands and pass 1 million or 2 million or 3 that, all you got to do is just give it time. And before you know it, you're going to more than double your money very shortly, So, but look at it, man. It's going on a parabolic run right now. And you just wonder, okay, somebody knows something. Some people know something. Because normally it's the other way around. When we're expecting the bad news in the afternoon with the tariffs and all that stuff, you kind of expect it to go the other way. You know what I'm saying? But it just doesn't stop. It's at 87,300. Like right in front of you, you're watching this, and it continues to climb. It doesn't go down to 86.5 and then 85. And no, it's going higher and higher every couple minutes here. It continues to go to another plateau, and it's just like, okay, we'll see. We'll see if we got a fake pump, because we've had many of those, or is this the real one that takes us? Because eventually there'll be a real one. It'll happen very soon in the next couple of months. I kind of feel we're going to have a really rough next 3 months. I kind of feel that. I hope not. I really do. I hope not. But what are you going to do, man? We'll see. We've never been through this, so we'll find out. Big O, who would you say is the player that had the most potential for the Dolphins, but his career got short because of the off-the-field issues? See, with Dion, I never saw anything to tell me that he was going to be a star, because he never did that. So in order for me to feel that way, Frankie, it has to be somebody that was that was showing me, holy crap, this guy's special, and then started to do things off the field that ruined their career. Not somebody that was great in college and then had substance abuse or whatever, or got in criminal trouble and then ruined their pro career. No. I need to know that you were already, like you were showing it in the pros, that you were going to be special. So like David Overstreet, that was an unfortunate incident. It wasn't really like drugs or anything. Like Eddie Blake really never got there. Who that off the field and was just tearing it up. And then like Roy Tarpley is that guy in basketball. Like he was good. Oh, Daryl Gardner. If Daryl Gardner wasn't lazy, I think he had some alcohol issues, but I don't think it was a big problem, but it was more about laziness. And I know he developed a back issue later on. But Daryl Gardner, brother, when he wanted to play and he wanted to disrupt shit, there are very few people in my existence of watching football that can disrupt shit like Daryl Gardner. I'm going to go Daryl Gardner. Oh, my God. Daryl Gardner was good, bro. Oh, man, he was good. He was Chris Jones good. He just didn't realize it. Okay? He's Chris Jones good. He's the guy that can hold up two people if you needed him to do it. He's the guy that could shed people off and get to the quarterback if he felt like it. He's the guy that if he got into the backfield and the running back thought he was going to out-juke him, no, and no again. Daryl Gardner is the answer for me. Okay? Daryl Gardner. Holy shit, can that guy play? Frustrating as hell because he just did not have the motor on all the time. But if that son of a bitch came to play that day, the Dolphin defense was unstoppable. With him and Bowens in the middle, they weren't going to run. The quarterback was going to be uncomfortable for the whole damn day. And if he wasn't a scrambler, he was going to have problems. Daryl Gardner is my guy. Okay? So, yeah, but Thurston Howell, Hollywood Henderson did not play for the Dolphins and drafted by the Dolphins. That's what Frankie was saying. You know, who's the guy that had the most potential for the Dolphins, got short because of off-the-field issues? And I would go Daryl Gardner. That would be the guy because he was the 20th. I want to say, if I'm correct, Sean, look it up for me. Daryl Gardner was the 20th overall pick in the draft. That's what I want to say. Picked him number 20 overall. And immediately the knock on him was the motor. And that's where Jimmy, we'll fix that and all that kind of stuff. And there were moments that Daryl Gardner came motivated, and that was special.
Nailed it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, crazy, man. Yes, sir. Val Kilmer, man. God. He did such a great job with the Doors. I actually enjoy watching that movie. Billy the Kid, The Saint, obviously Top Gun, Tombstone, Batman, just a phenomenal actor. And I feel like a piece of my childhood was torn from me today. What was that funny movie? Hot Shots, right? He did, because I think Charlie Sheen did part 2, right? He did the original. Val Kilmer did the original Hot Shots, and then I think Charlie Sheen did Hot Shots part 2 or something like that. But anyway, just overall a terrific actor, right? And played some iconic freaking roles, and a guy that if you grew up in the 80s and in the 90s, he was just part of a whole bunch of big ass movies, man. And to lose him at 65, just too young, man. Too young. Top Secret, that's what it was called. Top Secret, that's the one. Top Secret. I remember that. That's a good one right there, dude. Top Secret. All right, let's get to music history. Let's find out who was born on this date. Let's start off with some musicians. Quavo, hip-hop recording artist, of course, part of the Migos. Born in 1991. Let's see who else. Jesse Carmichael, keyboardist for Maroon 5, born in 1975. Greg Camp, guitarist and vocalist with Smash Mouth, born in 1967. He was one of the guys that wrote Walking on the Sun and All-Star. So 2 of their biggest songs. Let's see. Karen Woodward. You know, they've been touring most of Europe and other parts of the world. They haven't come here yet, but I would like to see Karen one time. She is part of Bananarama, born in 1963. They got a lot of songs. Oh, shit. Born in 1956 on this date, Gregory Abbott. Girl, I want to shake you down. Oh, it's a great song. Oh, man. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Oh, man, I love that song. That Shake You Down is so underrated. I know Gregory Abbott did not have this big-ass career, and that was his hit, but Shake You Down is a phenomenal hit, dude. Love that song. Anyway, what else do we have? David Robinson with the Cars, born in 1953. Leon Wilkinson, bassist for Leonard Skinner, born in 1952. Amy Lou Harris, singer, musician. She won 14 Grammys. Let's see who else. I'm born in 47. Kurt Winter, guitarist with the Canadian rock band Guess Who. Leon Russell, part of the not solo stuff, but he was part of the Wrecking Crew, actually. American musician Leon Russell worked with Phil Spector, Bob Dylan, Rolling Stones, Glenn Campbell. He wrote Delta Lady for Joe Cocker and played on many of his hits, including the Byrds' Mr. Tambourine Man. As a pianist, Russell played on the albums of the Beach Boys, George Harrison, Delaney Bramlett, Ringo Starr, Doris Day, Elton John, Ray Charles, Eric Clapton, Barbra Streisand, Willie Nelson, Badfinger, Frank Sinatra, The Band, Bob Dylan, J.J. Cale, B.B. King, Flying Burrito Brothers, and he passed away in 2016 at the age of 74. Leon Russell is an effing freaking legend. And again, part of the Wrecking Crew, not mentioned here. Now, he played on Glenn Campbell's albums. Glenn Campbell and Leon Russell were both part of the Wrecking Crew. They were writing songs for other people. Leon Russell and Glenn Campbell helped Don Kirshner write songs for the Monkees. It's not there, but I can tell you that happened. In 1939, on this date, Marvin Gaye was born, singer-songwriter. Sadly, of course, we lost him when his dad shot him in 1984. Yesterday, by the way, 1984. It was on April 1st. How do you shoot your son? How do you shoot Marvin Gaye? I know his dad had some issues, but damn, dude, that's not the way to go. All right, let's go with birthdays on this date. Again, I don't know country, but for those of you that might know country, it says Zach Bryan. He's 29. I'm just going to say it because I'm not sure sometimes. And since I didn't see it on the musicians list, I kind of feel bad that it's not there. So I mention it just in case maybe he is somebody. You guys can, correct me on there. Pedro Pascal, terrific actor. He is 50. Let's see who else is celebrating birthdays today. Michael Fassbender, movie actor, is 48. Carius Miller, comedian, is 42. Bethany Joy Lenz is 44, TV actress. All I ever want to be. What is it? Something like that? One Tree Hill. Rosalind Sanchez, very beautiful woman. She is 52 years old today. Who else? Drew Van Acker, actor, is 39. Austin Riley, baseball player, 28. Andre Onana, futbolista, he is 29. Pascal Siakam is 31 today. Christopher Meloni, actor, is 64. And that is it for famous people that I have on my lists. Sean Stanley, sir, do you have any wrestlers?
Yes, sir, we do. Jack Evans turns 43 today. Madman Fulton turns 35. And Scorpio Sky turns 42. And a personal birthday to my daughter, my youngest daughter. She turns 17 today.
All right. What's her name?
Her birthday's April 2nd, 2025. Samantha.
Samantha, happy birthday. All right. What do I see here? Speaking of music, Guns N' Roses has announced a tour. Interesting. Any Florida dates? Oh, no, dude, this is not even here. This is not even here. In Istanbul, Vienna. Damn it. Can you believe it? Guns N' Roses is touring Europe. Prepare yourself for this. Public Enemy, Rival Sons, or what's left of the Sex Pistols are opening guests for the tour. I mean, what's left of the Sex Pistols, whatever. But to see Rival Sons ahead of Guns N' Roses or Public Enemy before Guns N' Roses, I got to tell you, that's worth the trip to Europe for me, bro. Not for NorCal because he hates Axl. But for me, I got to tell you, I'm kind of loving it. Okay? That would be good. Man. Those are the moments I need to be rich so I can just take off to one of these countries and go see Public Enemy or Rival Sons open up for Guns N' Roses. Oh, that would be so good. Go to Florence, Italy and watch it. The font is kind of funky and it's far away from me, so I'm having trouble. Budapest, I see. Warsaw. So, Munich. You people in Europe, lucky bastards. All right, let's go in music history. What happened today on April 2nd in music history? We start off in 1990 where Nirvana went into Smart Studios in Madison, Wisconsin to start on a demo of songs, some of which would go on to be on Nevermind. In 67, Steve Winwood left the Spencer Davis Group to form his own band, Traffic. That's where he said, light me up or leave me alone. In 69, Bruce Springsteen's new group, Child, made their live debut at Wanamassa's, New Jersey's Pandemonium Club. In 71, Janis Joplin had the #1 album in the country with her debut, Pearl. In 98, Metallica kicked off their 61-date Pour Retouring Me tour in Newcastle, Australia. The trek was supported from their album Reload. And in 77, it's funny because I actually had a tweet with the album Reload yesterday on it. I'll show it to you in a second. In 77, Fleetwood Mac had the #1 album in the country with Rumors. Man, that thing was all over the place. What a great album. Rumors is one of the greatest albums of all time, period. Doesn't matter what genre of music you listen to. Rumors is one of the greatest albums of all time. All time. In 2004, Coldplay singer Chris Martin was accused of attacking a photographer after leaving a London restaurant with his then-wife, Gwyneth Paltrow. The couple's rep said the Shutterbug tripped the photog, claimed Martin kicked him from behind for taking their photo. And that's what happened today in music history. We're at 86,808 for Bitcoin. And for Twitter yesterday, I was there's a volcano that's exploded, or whatever it's called now. It's not exploded or whatever. It's producing a lot of lava right now. And so there was this picture of it, right? And I put it right up against a Metallica album. That's what I did yesterday. And it's funny that Load was in the news, because the next day, all right, Sean, take that down. The next day, this is what I put. See, this is it here. Incredible footage shows Icelandic. Oh, it's in Iceland, because there's another one in Hawaii too. Icelandic lava spewing into the air. And then I go, damn, looks like the Metallica Load album. So, figured. So I'll just put Metallica on and it's the same damn album. So, I mean, I'm sorry, that's all I can think of at that moment. It's, I'm a rocker. It goes through my mind. It's like watching Cordelia Cup solve a crime, and she's going to compare it to something with birds. You know what I mean? That's all. Although some of you actually needed Cordelia Cup to figure out that people are abandoning ship here for the Miami Dolphins. You don't really need Cordelia Cup to figure it out, but some of you may need it. Who knows? Brian, you're right. Eruption, Eddie Van Halen. That's it. I got it. Love Eruption. One of my favorite songs. That's what's it called? Just musical. What is it? Instrumental. I'm with you with Eruption. Yes. I know you're talking about volcanoes, bro. And relax. Just having some fun with it. Again, rock is on my mind. What can I at least it's not crack rocks. It's a good thing. Guns N' Roses will be at the Hard Rock Live September 15, 2025. Yeah, but who's opening up? The last time they came, they gave me some bullshit opening up. Well, no, actually, I should. The last time they came, I did not go because the Warning opened up, and I love them. I love the girls. The three Mexican girls, their sisters, are fantastic. But the last time I saw them, which was at the Miami baseball stadium, there was some bullshit they had opening up, bro. Like, it was terrible. Anybody remember the clowns that opened up for Guns N' Roses at the baseball stadium? It sounded like some country hillbilly stuff, like rock hillbilly stuff. I don't know what band it was, but it sucked. That's all I can tell you. It was freaking terrible. So if anybody remembers the damn band that opened up for Guns N' Roses at the baseball stadium, that's the last time I saw. I didn't see them at the Hard Rock Live. The Warning is awesome. You win there. I wanted to go see the Warning, but I've seen Guns N' Roses a bunch. I didn't want to pay the money that was at the Hard Rock Live. That shit was a lot of money. So I didn't want to pay that money, and I really wanted to see the Warning. But guess what? Now I have my tickets to see the Warning. When is it? Like later on this year. It's in like Orlando or Tampa, and I get to see a headline show. So I'm seeing them at the where's the House of Blues? Can't wait, bro. It's gonna be awesome. Love those girls. They jam. Frankie says you're a rocker and a Steve Aoki fan. Well, of course. I mean, I'm only a Steve Aoki fan. Remember, Frankie, because he helps our Inter Miami squad get healthy. Now, as Sean has informed me, he has become a trader, and now he's working for somebody else and no longer working for Inter Miami. So I don't know if I'm going to still be a Steve Aoki fan. I was a Steve Aoki fan when he was here training our players and saving them from, getting injured or getting them back on the pitch as quick as possible. He was helping our people then. I don't know about that now, Frankie. I may have to get off the Aoki bandwagon. Just saying. I was at the Guns N' Roses show at Marlins Park. See? And you can't even remember the bums that opened up for them. Okay? Because it was some bum-ass shit that they had opening up for them. And it's probably going to be expensive as hell at Hard Rock Casinos, Guns N' Roses. Oh, yeah, no, that ticket was expensive. That's why I didn't go. It was like $300. And I go, no, dude, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. So I didn't go, and I missed a warning. But you know what? I only would have gotten an opening set, 9, 10, 11 songs. Now I get to go to Orlando and see them do a hour-and-a-half set headliner. And I get to see them in a small place, up close. So for me, I'm in heaven. I love it. And I'll get my first warning shirt too, because I don't have one from the ladies. So got to support them also that way too. I need a warning concert shirt. Yes, sir.
Was it Sturgill Simpson that opened for Guns N' Roses at Marlins Park?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay. All right.
I can't even confirm it because I don't know the name of the shitty band that opened up for them. Hey, Edward Thurston Howe, watch your mouth, bro. Okay, I said it was a shitty band. The Texas Hippie Coalition is a phenomenal band, a super underrated band. I love the Texas Hippie Coalition. All right? So watch yourself there. Messing with my hippie. Don't I have a picture of me and him in the in that open? I want to say me and the Texas Hippie Coalition dude I want to say I have him in that open that we do. Where is it here?
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
Oh, well. I thought I had it there. My bad. My bad.
You know, they can't hear you when you're talking.
Oh, no?
Not when we play videos. No, it mutes you.
Oh, that sucks. Oh, well,
I think a lot of people thought the show was ending.
I took a picture there with Greta Van Fleet. Who else? Oh, God. Now I'm forgetting what I just saw. Who else was there? Anyway, so several rockers. Rick Allen, drummer for Def Leppard. The lead singer. Damn it. What was now I'm forgetting his name. I'm forgetting the band too. Jesus. Anyway, so a bunch of rockers. But I have the lead singer from Texas Hippie Coalition. I guess we didn't throw it in there. We didn't have it in there. But anyway. Was that a photo of Maiden when you were holding the dog? Yes, that's Maiden. Yes, that's Maiden as a puppy. Yep, right when we adopted her. Yep. Pause for you, by the way. Carol is fantastic people. They're by the falls. So if you're like us, that we like to adopt our dogs, Pause for You is a fantastic place, no-kill facility. They are just absolutely amazing. And by the way, they also can board your animals too. If you're going on a trip or something like that. Once when our entire family went and we didn't have anybody to leave the dogs with, I adopted 2 of my dogs there. So I have no problem. They have cameras and everything, so you can watch your dogs and everything when you're on the road. But they are just beautiful people out there, and they take care of their animals. So just a great place. So Pause for You is a place that has a very special spot in my heart. Love that place, man. Love that place. So what else do we have? What else that I wanted to talk about on the show? Oh, man. Steelers look like Aaron Rodgers is headed their way. Let me ask you something on that one, because I feel bad that Mike Tomlin, in a way, it's kind of Spoelstra and Mike Tomlin. I kind of feel like the front offices haven't done a good enough job to help their coaches, and they're damn good coaches overall. And it's funny because, Spo has to deal with Deion Waiters and Whiteside and this buffoonery with Jimmy Butler and all the other crap in the last 10 years. It's kind of been rough that they haven't really done a good job. They make a trade for Terry Rozier and all this other stuff that he's had to deal with, from Bob and Danny Granger and Shabazz Napier and everything that's gone on the last 10 years. There's so many bad things that have not helped this coach. Okay? Let's be honest. Kyle Lowry, that did not help this coach. So you look at Mike Tomlin and you have easily one of the 3-5 best coaches in the NFL. That's not even up for discussion. And he has had to deal with a lot of shit lately. A lot of shit people, a lot of shit players, a lot of shitty quarterbacks. And now Aaron Rodgers. And I don't think he puts you over the top anyway. And I just think he's kind of cancerous. And I'm thinking, Atlanta's moved on. Do they really want to have this super expensive backup? They're going to go Michael Penix. Am I the biggest Kirk Cousins believer? No. But he's going to be more of a team player. He's going to be fine with you being a running offense that is going to need him to make a few passes. This guy is used to being the center of the offense. I don't know, man. If I'm the Steelers, I get it. You don't have to pay anything to get Rodgers. He's out there. He's free agent. And you're not really going to pay a lot of money either. So for Kirk Cousins, you got to make a trade. But you're not going to have to give up much because Atlanta wants to get rid of him. But you do have to give up an asset. I'd rather give up the asset and go and do the less intrusive, the thing that's going to carry less baggage. And in the end, the results are probably going to be about the same. But you'll get there with less problems, less controversies. In fact, you'll have no controversies because Kirk Cousins is not that kind of guy. You just got to hope that he can return more to form, because last year, coming off the Achilles, he clearly was not himself. That's about it. But if I'm the Steelers, I'm taking a chance more with Kirk Cousins than I ever would with Aaron Rodgers. And I normally would have never said that. But now where Aaron Rodgers is, that's one island I don't want to be on. The Aaron Rodgers island. Yeah. So if I'm the Steelers, I'll go with something a little bit more normal. That's what I'm going to say. Juan Rosa says, thank God, I thought the show was over. Well, it's, sometimes it happens. Worst opening act for me was definitely Smash Mouth opening up for U2. Because it didn't go, or they were bad? Because I've seen Smash Mouth. They're all right. I enjoyed Smash Mouth. But, bro, what opened up for Guns N' Roses was bad that day. I'm telling you, it was like some hillbilly rock. It's not good. By the way, anybody got it? No, nobody got it. There's NorCal with FU Axel. He hates Axel, bro. NorCal hates Axel like I hate ground beef. Picadillo. Ooh. Yeah. I want no part of it. It's a long story. I was tortured when I was a kid. Big O, did you say the Dolphins interviewed Mike Tomlin? If they did, I know they were kicking themselves in the butt. Well, you know what happened after they interviewed him? The word out of the building was, he's too hip-hop. Old white men interviewed Mike Tomlin, and the old white men came away with, he's too hip-hop. That's our Miami Dolphins. Mike Tomlin, too hip-hop. Adam Gase, too much of a moron. Cam Cameron, too much of a dumbass. Dave Wanstead, way too freaking clueless. Mike McDaniel, way too soft. Stupid, ignorant. There's a couple of adjectives for him. Joe Philbin, an absolute waste. But Mike Tomlin's too hip-hop. Yeah. Too hip-hop. So let's go with the guy that loves field goals. Too hip-hop. That was the line of all lines to come out of an organization. Yeah, we didn't like him. He was a little too hip-hop for us. Okay. Well, your players like a lot of hip-hop. Just so you'll know. You may not, but they do. Okay. Oh, do you know the story of when U2 opened for U2? No, I don't. Was that like one of the members or two of the members were part of another band, and then they played in that band, and then they came back to play with U2 also, or something like that. Is that what we're doing? Anyway, Newfound Glory's got something going on. Let's retweet the local guys, support them. Let's see. Ground beef or DQ hot dog? Oh, God. Both. See, but the DQ hot dog just joined the list. The ground beef, that's been with me for 50 years, bro. Okay? 50 years. NorCal says worst opening act was Oasis before the Rolling Stones. Best opening act, Soundgarden for Metallica. I would give worst to Axl, but he canceled 2 shows. Not sure how bad he was. Oasis is fantastic. Were they like fighting on stage or something? I saw them open up for U2, and they were great, bro. And then I saw them headline down at the arena here in Miami, and they were awesome. When I saw them open up for U2, I was in San Francisco. I was in Oakland. I was at the Oakland Coliseum. Oasis opened up for U2. Was it the Zoo TV tour? Was that one? Was Zoo? I think. So yeah, 87. I want to say. Whatever the 87 tour was. Right? I want to say it was 87. Yeah, it was 87. Yeah, 87. NorCal says Oasis had a bad night. I liked them, but it was a bad. Okay, I get it. That can happen. That can happen. And plus those 2 idiots, who knows what's going on with them? How stoned, drunk, how angry they were, or whatever. I mean, the Liam and Noel Gallagher are just. They make me sick. And you know what pisses me off? I love their music. I love their music. I love Oasis, dude. I've got all their albums, and a couple of the last ones aren't as good, but I want to say the first 3-4 albums are fantastic. So many good songs. But they're just assholes. They're just assholes. It's amazing. It's like the Police. I love the Police. Why does Sting have to be such an asshole? Was the Guns N' Roses opening act thought of called Body Count? No. Isn't that Body Count? Isn't that the Ice-T thing? No. I'd see that. No. Just like Drew Brees' shoulder was no good. Yeah, that's our doctors. U2 dressed up as a country band, the Dalton Brothers. That's funny. Iron Maiden opened up for Iron Maiden when Guns N' Roses canceled, so I guess I should be thanking Axl. Well, that's really good. You get extra Iron Maiden. I mean, I want Iron Maiden anyways over Guns N' Roses, so that does. I'm a little biased there because Iron Maiden's my favorite metal band of all time. So I'm going to take Iron Maiden over Guns N' Roses every day of the week and twice on Sundays. But a little extra Iron Maiden never hurt anybody. That's for damn sure. Betty Dalton, Adam, Luke Dalton, Edge, Alton Dalton, Bono, and Duke Don Larry. We played both kinds of music, country and Western. That's funny. That's good shit. That's good shit. Leave it to you to know all those funky U2 facts. You're the best at that, man. You are the best. No doubt about it. Folks, don't forget, you can help out the show grow by visiting our amazing sponsors like Cutter's Edge Pro. Does amazing work if you're looking to improve your home, your business, and take landscaping and your business, your home or your business to the next level because it improves the value of it. Call our friends at Cutter's Edge Pro. Don't forget to reach out to R&M Contractors if you're looking to improve your home, your condo, whatever it is you need to do. Ray can help you out at R&M Contractors there. 305-345-3649. Of course, Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15100 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines, and tell them that Big O sent you. Great people out there, so many to thank who help it and make us grow every single day. Boca Jaw Surgery. That's right. Ronnie is the best. He worked on my wife, right? He ended up fixing the bridge for the tooth she lost, and Moody's Dental created the tooth that replaced it. So if you need cosmetic surgery, he's in Boca. He is the best. He's a big Dolphins fan, by the way. You'll depress him. You know what? When you meet Ronnie, talk to him about the Dolphins after you're done, because the poor guy is suffering just like the rest of us. So keep him in a nice mood, and then talk to him to the Dolphins after. You know what I'm saying? AEW, Frankie Fresco on a super chat. Tony Storm or Penelope Ford? Penelope sounds like the kind of name that shouldn't be wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Now, Tony Storm, that's a wrestler's name right there. That's a bitch that's going to bring it. That's the way I look at it. So, you know, this Ford is unfortunately going to get, sidelined. It's going to be parked on the side of the shoulder there. It's going to break down because the storm is coming and Tony's going to bring all the pain, baby. So I'm going Penelope is Foldo and Tony Storm wins it. AEW Wednesday. What do we got, Sean? Got 2 thumbs up. I didn't get like this. I didn't get this or that or that way or no. I got this. I don't know. Sounds pretty positive to me. What did Alethea Intelligence Token just tweet out? Deploy the capital via AI agents into the multi-agents framework as they work to solve the problems together in an AI swarm. Intelligence compound coordination scales and outputs amplify. I'm well invested in Alethea Intelligence Token. So I don't know, just following them, see what they got to say. We leave you with this. Bitcoin's at 86,885. We hope for the best. We shall see you all tomorrow afternoon at 3:00 live from Hialeah Park. We appreciate all of you that tuned in. Those of you that hit the like button, thank you. Please hit the like button before you go. As you watch, as you download, whenever you're listening, whenever you're watching, please hit that like button. Visit our amazing sponsors that keep us going. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel.